Hello there. Today's video is on CSS and it comes from the vertical align property. So I've got this page with 3 paragraphs stuck inside of a div, and here it is in HTML and CSS. Let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to have a span actually in there, so we're going to do span with a background color of yellow, so it'll be easier to spot. And the tag we're actually going to be doing is vertical align. So vertical align, and there are several properties here. There's a sub, which will drop it down. There's a super, which will actually raise it up a bit. And for the rest of them, we need to actually do a bit of CSS, because the ones like baseline don't really make any sense until you see it in effect. So let's go ahead and start messing with the paragraph as well, and we're going to do a font size of 20 point, and do the same thing here, because if I do that, it's going to make the span the same size. We'll do a font size of 10 point on the span. There we go. So now the span's small, and as you can see, the baseline means that, see where the bottom of the L's and the I's and the W are, that's where the span lines up to. So we got baseline. We can do a sub still. That drops it down a little more. Then we've got a bottom. There's a text bottom. There's also a super, which will raise it up a little bit. Super. There's top. Text top. Actually, I didn't even see if that changed. No, so text top and top do the same thing. Middle, which will put it in the middle. And of course, inherit, which means it inherits from its parent item, which really doesn't do anything. It just goes back to the baseline. Okay, so next you can also do measurements. So there's say 10 pixels. There's a 10%. Well, let's raise it up 200%, because it'll be a percentage off of the font size. There we go, 200%. Or you can do negatives as well. Negatives. So there's 200%. There's 1, say, inches. There's centimeters. Actually, I don't know if the centimeters will be. You can see the centimeters. You won't be able to see millimeters though. Let's do -5 millimeters. There's 5 millimeters. There's m's, which is the size of an M in HTML. It's basically the font size. There's x, which is half the size of an M, or half the size of the font. There's a point, so PT. And of course all of these work with positive numbers as well. So then there's a pica, so I always think that's percent. And 1 pica is actually worth 12 points. So if we do 1 pica and then we do 12 point, it won't change. So then there's pixels. Oh well, point. Forgot point. Because 1 point is actually 1/72 of an inch. So if I do 72 point, that will be the same as 1 inch. Same thing. And of course, all of these work with negatives as well. So negative 200 pixels or positive or negative. We'll do positive 20 pixels. There you go. So again, there's measurements, positive and negative. There's baseline, sub, super, top, text top, which is pretty much the same thing, middle, puts it in the middle of the line, text bottom, puts it down there at the bottom, bottom, just plain bottom, which isn't really much different, and inherit. And did I say baseline? Baseline. Can't remember, there's so many tags here. So there you go. That's the vertical align property in CSS and how to use it. And it lines up according to whatever the line is. So it raises it horizontally, raises it up by default, unless you do negatives, and then it drops down. So that's it. That's a vertical align property. Thank you for watching.
If you've enjoyed the experience of this tutorial, why not share it with your friends?